was that? One hell of a start to the week, huh? Oh my goodness. Monday Night Raw for the cool kids out there tonight, man. I don't know who was in the kitchen tonight, but we ate pretty damn good this evening, man. Cody, Rock, Punk, McIntyre, Rollins, the Bloodline. This was easily the best Monday Night Raw of the entire season for this year's WrestleMania. And it might have been the best Monday Night Raw all year. I know it was for a fact the best Monday Night Raw of the entire year. Look at how we all come together, man, when it's a good show, huh? We have Punk and McIntyre going at it tonight, unscripted. And The Rock left Cody in his own blood outside in the Chicago rain. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, I love when we get together and celebrate a great show. Tonight we're drinking at the venue inside my mother's basement. We're gonna waltz on downstairs. The beverages are cold. And when I get there tonight, I want to know, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there. Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking. Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Monday Night Raw post show for March 25th, 2024. I am your host, JD from New York, as always, coming to you live from the OTS venue. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on your Monday evenings, wherever you may be. You know, a lot of those Triple H detractors tonight, they're all singing his praises. I wonder why. I wonder why, man. Tonight was a show that we were all excited about. We didn't really get much advertised for this show. We got Punk advertised, We all kind of figured that with him there might be something with him and Seth. There might be something with him and Drew McIntyre. Man, oh man, did they blow the lid and drop some major hints as to what's coming down the pipeline with that segment tonight, which resulted in one of the best segments on pro wrestling TV all year. We got that, and with that, I was satisfied. I was satisfied. We got Cody Rhodes to open the show. Now, normally Cody is a mainstay on the show. We know exactly what Cody's been doing this WrestleMania season. He hasn't looked good. He hasn't looked good. What I didn't know is that The Rock was going to be in Chicago. I did not know Dwayne was going to be in Chicago. He was not advertised for this show. He was advertised for next week's show right here in New York at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. The Rock took this show from excitement to blowing the lid off of this show. A lot of people tend to think that I don't like WWE. A lot of people tend to think that I'm going back and forth on Cody and The Rock, what I like, what I don't like. That's exactly what they want from us. That's exactly how you're supposed to feel. There are peaks and valleys. There are ups and downs. There are things you're not going to like. There are things that you do like. There are things that you're going to ask as far as where's the logic? What happened here? Why is this being said? Why is this being done? Why isn't that being done? That's just the nature of the beast. It is. I still have questions after tonight, which I'll get into in a second, but I'm not going to start off with the negative tonight. I'm going to start off with the positive. This was the best Monday Night Raw, maybe in the last decade. Maybe. Monday Night Raw comes a little fuzzy to me because we've gotten so many fucking shit shows on Monday night, but this is easily the best Monday Night Raw of the entire year. This is easily the best Monday Night Raw under the Triple H administration. And this was the best ending to Monday Night Raw that I think we've seen in a very long time. And at one point in the show, I was worried WWE was not going to live up to what they gave us in the opening segment with The Rock and with Cody Rhodes. Tonight's show absolutely was a masterclass of storytelling, and this is exactly the type of show that we all signed up for on the road to WrestleMania. They have been lacking. They have been. Outside of Rock being there, these shows have not been as exciting as they should be. Tonight's show from top to bottom was a can't-miss show. All shows should feel like this. They should just hold the fucking shows in every single week on the road to WrestleMania in Chicago. It's exactly what they need to do. The show just felt different. It did. It felt like I was watching something out of the Attitude Era tonight. Chicago is fucking amazing. The fans, the people there are fucking amazing. That venue is fucking amazing. The way WWE set up the stage tonight was fantastic. 15,100 plus from Monday Night Raw. They're touting 11 straight consecutive sellouts for WWE across Raw and SmackDown this WrestleMania season. Good for them. Good for them. But my God, man, when this show ended, I was excited to sit in this chair in front of you guys and talk about this, man. This was a great night for professional wrestling. The Rock, obviously the biggest part of the show tonight, unadvertised. Dwayne Johnson showing up after Cody was about to unload on him. Tonight, I made Cody a priority to let you guys know on Friday that Cody and what he did with Roman Reigns was not satisfactory to me. It wasn't. In fact, Cody and Roman roadie. That's exactly what he feels like on this fucking road to WrestleMania. He feels like a fucking roadie. He really does. He feels like a fucking background player. Cody, he hasn't lived up to the part of challenging for the World Heavyweight Championship. At least as far as presentation is concerned. He hasn't. he's looked weak. Some weeks he's looked good. Some weeks he's looked bad. And the bad is really bad. It has been. The Rock has had to fill in logic gaps. The Rock has had to make sense of the story. We haven't heard from anything that Cody did and why he did it. We had to hear it from The Rock. Cody was slapped across the face. Cody has his family dragged into it now. Rock is threatening his mother. Rock has threatened his dog. Rock has threatened his family. Made promises that some of which came true tonight. Had a whole Rock concert just dehumanizing both Seth and Cody Rhodes. Cody comes out last week on Raw and cuts a very impassioned promo and basically went against the PG guidelines in that story that everybody in TKO wanted everybody on the WWE roster to follow a PG guideline, but The Rock, he's not one that needs to listen to those rules. And then Cody shows up on Friday and confronts Roman Reigns for the first time since all four of them were in the ring several weeks ago on Friday Night SmackDown, where Cody slapped The Rock, and he's there asking for a handshake. A handshake for the guy that he's wrestling on Sunday for the Universal Heavyweight Championship, who is the tribal chief of the bloodline, who's cousins with the guy who has been making his life a living hell. He asked for a handshake from that guy. Now, granted, you could sit there and say, oh, it's Cody playing mind games. Roman played mind games. Cody's playing mind games back to Roman. Roman asked for a handshake last year. This year it was Cody. However you want to weave it. Cody looked like a chump on Friday night. I know any decent human being in that moment is not asking for a fucking handshake. They're not. They're looking to fight. They're looking to spill blood. And Cody and Roman feels like an afterthought this year. It really does. I don't even want to see Cody versus Roman. I don't. I want to see Cody versus Rock more so than Cody versus Roman. This tag team match has overtaken everything on WrestleMania. That is the main event for WrestleMania. Everything else is second and third place. That's all it is. So you can understand why I'm not really high up on Cody Rhodes at the moment with the way that they presented Cody Rhodes on the road to WrestleMania. Rock has cut him off every chance he's gotten. But I remain firm in the fact that Cody needs to win the World Heavyweight Championship. He needs to walk out of WrestleMania with the world title, and Roman needs to lose. That has not changed. That is the best outcome for WrestleMania. I do not want to see a WWE post-WrestleMania with Roman Reigns as champion. That is absolutely detrimental to both Raw and SmackDown if that happens. I see people already, again, starting to push the narrative. He's got to break Hulk Hogan's record. No, he doesn't. You are not making creative decisions because you want him to break Hulk Hogan's record. That is absolutely outlandish and ridiculous. Fuck that. Let Hogan keep the fucking non-existent record that doesn't matter. I'm not risking that for the shows being worse with him as champion. There is a fatigue with Roman as champion. You see it, you feel it. And after what we got this WrestleMania season, he is an afterthought. Again, it might be done by design. It might be all a strategy. But Roman should not walk out of WrestleMania as the champion. I think after tonight, it's pretty solid that Cody's walking out as champion because you're not going to leave Cody like you left him at the end of that show and then have him drop the ball at the 1 yard line at WrestleMania in Philadelphia. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't. The Rock tonight showed up on Monday Night Raw. And I'm surprised, and you were surprised that he was there this evening. I did not expect The Rock to be there. I was fully anticipating next week, and that's it. Monday night next week, Friday next week, we go home. We're in Philadelphia. But he showed up tonight in Chicago. Cody was cutting a very impassioned promo again. Cody was actually starting to take the gloves off a little bit tonight. Cody sounded the way he needed to sound for weeks tonight. He had that bass in his voice. He was direct. He was angry. He was getting angry. And then all of a sudden, Rock comes out. Chicago was surprised. Chicago let Rock have it. Mixture of cheers, mixture of boos. The Rock, the final boss. That entrance, the music, the ambiance, everything. Rock comes out. Steals Cody's thunder right there. Boos raining down on The Rock for interrupting Cody Rhodes. I'm liking it. Basically proving that he's an asshole. I love it. He gets in the ring. Cody's in the middle of the ring, and The Rock is standing with his back against the turnbuckle in the corner. They advance each other. People chanting, "This is awesome," before they even say anything. No punches were thrown. Cody standing there. The Rock advances. Cody, slowly but surely, he puts his hands up. He puts his hands behind his back. He wasn't going to hit Cody Rhodes. He leans in and tells Cody something. Nobody knows what he says. Neither man had a microphone. Done by design. They didn't want anything of The Rock and what he said to be picked up. They wanted it to be a intriguing little detail for tonight's show. He leans into Cody Rhodes. He says something. Nobody can figure it out. Some people were claiming that Rock told Cody tonight, "I'm going to make you bleed." This is what the social media sleuths came up with. And I didn't really want to tweet anything out in regards to that because nobody really knew. Cody, at the end of that segment, had this distressed look on his face, this worried look all over his face. The Rock backs away, smirking like a prick. He walks out of the ring and basically ends the segment. So I was careful with my words online. I said, Rock shows up. Everybody is excited. The ambiance is there. Everybody wants to see these two guys verbally spar for the first time since we got all four of them in the ring. Seth, Cody, Roman, Rock on SmackDown. And on Monday night tonight, 15,000 plus, Rock and Cody stand there with nothing to say in front of the live audience, leaving everybody in the Allstate Arena asking, what the fuck did I just watch? And then I put, I hope something comes of this throughout the show this evening. And that's exactly what WWE did. Now, normally, they would tease you with something like that, and you got to wait till next week's show. There's no more waiting. There's no more waiting. I'm glad that they realized that. There's no more waiting. There's no more dicking around. There's no more, let's let it play out. Fuck those people. I'm tired of letting shit play out. I'm tired of waiting. We have 3 more shows before WrestleMania. SmackDown, Raw, and SmackDown next week. That's it. It's the end of the line. There's no more dicking around here. So I was going to let it play out. I said to myself, WWE can't be this foolish to let that segment air in the beginning of this show with the air of excitement surrounding it and then not follow it up tonight. I'm glad they realized that they needed to strike tonight, and that's exactly what they did. Throughout the show, you got The Rock being asked, Rock, what did you tell Cody in the middle of the ring that left him looking distressed? What is it that you told him and whispered in his ear? Rock, playing a prick, the asshole in this storyline, tells the interviewer, why don't you go ask Cody Rhodes yourself? And he walks away. Middle of the show, Cody Rhodes is then interviewed by Jackie Redmond. And she asks, Cody, what did The Rock tell you in the middle of that ring to start Monday Night Raw tonight? Can you divulge what he told you, please? He simply told Jackie Redmond, It is something that I don't really want to utter and repeat here tonight. Thank you. And he walked away. I'm like, all right. You're really tugging on my emotions here. You're really pushing me to the limit with this fucking angle tonight. And then we get to the main event, which was Jey Uso versus Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm like, what the fuck is this doing in the main event? The fuck is this match doing? And this match means nothing to nobody. Jey Uso, man. This is all we get. That's all we care about. Jey Uso coming out doing the yeet. That's all we care about. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Jey Uso. The match was over in like 6 minutes. Nobody gives a shit. Spear, Nakamura goes down 1, 2, 3. There's like 8, 9 minutes left in the show. I'm like, something clearly is going on here, man. Something's got to go down. All of a sudden, we see Cody wrestling Jimmy in the back. He's fighting off the bloodline. He's coming to Jay's defense because Jimmy and Solo wanted to interfere in his match tonight. Cody is working tonight. He's backing up his buddy Jey Uso. All of a sudden, we see Cody blasted from behind by Dwayne. Dwayne is still in the building. Dwayne beating up Cody Rhodes in the back, throwing him around, throwing him into the wall, throwing him into some production crates, taking some trash cans, bashing Cody over the head, takes a toolbox, throws the toolbox over Cody Rhodes, start pounding away at him, punches and kicks, throws him to the outside. Throws him to the outside. In the Chicago rain this evening, Cody Rhodes on his knees in his $10,000 designer suits, soaking wet. Rock ripping his designer shirt. Cody's, that is. Cody is all soaking wet. Rock is putting the boots to him, talking trash to him. Punch after punch, kick after kick, trash talk. We get to where Cody's bus is. He's got his new vodka advertised on the back of his bus. We got the Nightmare bus outside. And Rock is just beating the shit out of Cody in front of his own vehicle. At one point in this beatdown, at the end of Monday Night Raw, there was one huge Easter egg for everybody to take a good hard look at. There was a production truck with the WWE logo on it in the distance while Rock was beating down Cody Rhodes. The production truck had no current WWE superstars on it. Go back and watch it. WWE does everything by design. There was no Rhea Ripley. There was no Seth Rollins. There was no CM Punk. There was no Jey Uso. There was nobody from the current roster on that production truck in the background of this fight scene between Cody and Rock. You know who was on the fucking production truck? The WWE logo separated Stone Cold Steve Austin and John Cena. You don't think that was done by fucking design? You don't think that was placed strategically in that scene by design? Come on, man. I'd like to think at some point, I'm a conspiracy theorist, man, when it comes to some things. But holy shit, if that didn't let the light bulb go off in your head for what may potentially be happening at WrestleMania, I don't know what will, man. Why would WWE have a production truck with Stone Cold Steve Austin and John Cena on it going into WrestleMania 40? I don't know, JD. Maybe it really is the Avengers uniting to take down the bloodline. I don't know. Could both be showing up at WrestleMania? Cody is being beaten down. Rock is talking trash. He pulls off his weight belt, or he had a weight belt with him that said Mama Rhodes. He's talking shit. Cody's laying against the door of his bus. Camera glimpses on Cody. He's fucking bleeding. He's wearing the crimson mask. One half of The Rock's prophecy has been fulfilled. He's made Cody bleed. And that's exactly what he told him tonight. So congratulations to all the social media sleuths out there that said The Rock told Cody in the beginning of the show tonight, I'm going to make you bleed. That's exactly what he did tonight. He pulls his weight belt off. He starts rubbing it on Cody's face. That's the belt he's going to hand to Mama Rhodes. The final boss ended Monday Night Raw with a blood-soaked white Mama Rhodes Brahma Bull weight belt. And Cody Rhodes bleeding on Monday night as the show went off the air. It's exactly the type of feeling we needed this late in the game. Now, Cody, I don't want to sit here and tell you Cody looks like a bitch, because he did start throwing some punches. He did stand up for Jey Uso and start battling the bloodline. But he got picked off by The Rock. Now, here's the one negative here. Here's the one I don't really get it scenario. And maybe you guys felt the same way. Maybe you asked the same thing. Cody did not try to throw one single punch at The Rock. Not one. Even before they went outside and even before he got bloodied up, there wasn't one attempt at a kick or a punch or a shove or anything. He did not lay one single hand on The Rock. I mean, I guess it's not that big of a deal because Cody was being beat up pretty early on and The Rock was putting the boots to him. But you don't get up. Cody Rhodes, with all the fight that he has and all the hatred and desire he has, not one fucking punch. Not one punch. I don't get it. Again, like I said on Friday, everything is done by design. Everything. Cody reacts for adversity. I don't want Cody to look like a bitch and go through the adversity. I want him to be fighting and going through the adversity, coming up short every single time. Cody's looked bad. Cody's looked good. Cody's looked bad. Cody's looked good. Cody has been hot and cold all WrestleMania season. Tonight was the exclamation point on WrestleMania for two things. Three things, actually. One, Seth Rollins is not turning on Cody Rhodes. He's not. You could put that fucking narrative to bed. Seriously. Number two, Rock is not turning on Roman. He's not. There's no reason to. That's not where the story is. That's not best for the story. That is not what we are getting after tonight. The Rock literally bloodied the number one contender for the World Heavyweight Championship to soften him up for Roman Reigns. Why would The Rock go through these lengths tonight to then turn on Roman? I don't get it. Maybe in some people's sick and twisted, demented minds, Cody would bleed to really sell the fact that he is on the side of Dwayne Johnson and Dwayne is on the side of Cody Rhodes. I don't see that happening. Those two things were pretty solidified tonight. The third and most important thing tonight, you're not going to leave Cody Rhodes the way you left him tonight at the end of that show and then have him lose at WrestleMania. Tonight solidified one thing and one thing for sure, and that is Cody Rhodes is winning the World Heavyweight Championship on night 2 of WrestleMania, and it will result in a new era of WWE. Seriously. Cody Rhodes will be the world champion, whether you like it or not. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Cody's booking has been 50-50 going into WrestleMania 40. Hopefully they do much better with him as champion coming out of WrestleMania 40. The Rock has looked fantastic ever since he whispered to Cody and Cody stepped aside and we got Roman and Rock headed towards a main event of WrestleMania 40. Ever since they course corrected, The Rock has been fantastic. The Rock has been absolutely on top of his game in every sense of the word. I am separating the character from Dwayne. It is very easy for me to sit here and say Dwayne and his ego are overtaking WrestleMania. Is that the case? Sure. I could sit here and say that because Cody and Seth have looked like afterthoughts. Cody and Rock should realistically be the night one main event. But Rock is not going to lose. After tonight, I think we're all sold on Cody versus The Rock. It should realistically be Cody versus Rock, with Cody going over Rock to fight Roman at WrestleMania. That's the way it should have been. They could have done that. They could have easily given us that with the same result. Cody and Seth are not winning on night one. There's no fucking way they're winning on night one. Cody and Seth are not walking out of night one with a W. So why not give us Cody versus Rock, night one? WWE doesn't want to give away all of their cards in one game. We may be headed for Cody versus Rock at SummerSlam. So I understand why they would want to wait on that. Or Cody versus Rock at a Saudi show. I could see why they would want to wait on that, business-wise. But after tonight, it certainly feels like it should be Cody versus Rock. It should be Cody versus Rock. But I have been so hard on this storyline because I want it to be the best it could be. I do. Again, I could sit here and shit on The Rock and his ego and him overtaking WrestleMania and him making it all about himself and everything else underneath it feeling kind of not important. I could sit here and easily do that. But the thing is, The Rock has been on television. The Rock has brought back the heel persona, the Hollywood Rock theme music, the Hollywood Rock character, the profanity. He's bringing back a sense of what should be in WWE. I can't sit here and hate on that. I can't. Because that's the WWE that we all want. That's the WWE we all wanted. We couldn't get that with Vince in charge. I'm not going to sit here and label Dwayne and his ego the reason why WrestleMania doesn't feel the way it should. It absolutely does feel the way that it should. I am just upset because WWE continues to go about booking their babyfaces in the same fucking way as every generation's babyface before it. That's the problem. I don't like that. Maybe we could do something a little different. Cody doesn't need to be fucking forced on us and pushed down our throat as the guy that's going to hug the grandmas and the guy that's going to hug the children and the guy that's going to do this and the guy that's going to do that. They've really kind of pushed that narrative. The pushover. Oh, he's such a good guy. He can't do no wrong. He's got to look like a schmuck. He's got to look weak. He's got to look like he's fighting from behind. The Cody Rhodes needs to be the American fucking nightmare. He needs to be in a position where he's not going to take shit from anyone, but also at the same time do what is right. WWE has lost the Cody character in translation here. And they are running the risk over time of Cody being such a fucking vanilla babyface that fans are going to reject him. It's not going to happen anytime soon, but the longer they continue to push Cody in that way, more fans are going to realize. Smart fans are going to realize. The casuals are going to love Cody no matter what. But the smart fans, you may get John Cena all over again. And it will be too late before people realize how great Cody Rhodes really is. That's the problem I have. I have a problem with the fact that WWE has not given Cody Rhodes any ammunition at all for The Rock. The Rock is showing up to every fucking show loaded with a fucking tank full of ammunition, ready to destroy cities. And Cody is standing there with a fucking bow and arrow. Hey, man, I'm ready to go to war with you. Seth Rollins is standing there with a fucking knife. Come on, man. You can't battle the final boss. You can't verbally spar with the final boss. You can't get one over on the final boss. You can't look like the guy who should be champion if you're not given the ammunition to fucking feel and sound like the champion. Cody Rhodes can go out there and say, the reason why I act like the champion is because the champion never shows up to work. That's exactly what he said tonight. But the thing is, Cody is the uncrowned champion, but hasn't looked, sounded, or felt like the uncrowned champion. So no matter what he says in regards to him acting like the champion, he hasn't sounded like the champion, and he certainly hasn't been presented as one. That's the problem. I thought what WWE did tonight with Rock, Cody, and everybody involved was the best that we've gotten out of this entire storyline. We got a passionate promo from Cody Rhodes. We got Rock making a promise off the microphone that we didn't know what was said, and it played out throughout the entire show, and then it played out at the end of the show where The Rock basically beat the shit out of Cody and fulfilled half of that prophecy. If you don't think the other half of that prophecy is going to be played out on night one, you are sadly mistaken. WWE had one match in the first hour and 15 minutes of this show. I've seen people complaining about it online. Oh, there's one match. That one match was Ricochet versus JD McDonagh, and it was a fantastic opening match. If there was one match that we were going to get in the first hour and 15 minutes, it certainly should have been that one, or something like that one. One match in the first hour and 15 minutes. The first hour and 15 minutes was the best WWE content we got on Monday night all year, which resulted in the best Monday Night Raw of the entire year, with the best ending to Monday Night Raw all year and the best ending to any show that WWE has done this WrestleMania season. If you didn't like that show tonight, if you were not pleased with what they did tonight, if you were not excited about that show tonight, I think you need to check yourself in the mirror, because pro wrestling may not be for you. Pro wrestling is certainly for people like me and everybody here tonight, because we always asked the questions. We always are concerned about what the presentation of Cody Rhodes and The Rock have been throughout this WrestleMania season. We have every right to ask questions. But they've made the storyline from what it was to what it is now better than what they originally planned. It's not perfect. Cody still looks like a fucking pussy. But at the end, it's all going to result in him winning the world championship. Again, it's all done by design. I'm assuming it's all done by design. But man, you gotta let him be the fighting champion, uncrowned champion that he says he is. He hasn't been. That's where my problem stems from. But outside that, I thought what they did tonight was absolutely incredible stuff. Really. We're going to get into what Cody said via the promo. We're going to get into what The Rock said at the end of the show. We're going to get into what CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, and Seth Rollins did to add extra, and I mean extra spice to their match at WrestleMania. Finally, that match is starting to feel like it belongs on Philadelphia's WrestleMania card. Absolutely great show tonight. No issues with tonight's show whatsoever from a WrestleMania perspective. We're going to get into that. Stay with me. I appreciate you guys very, very much. We got 4,500 people in here tonight. And before I even get into anything, I got to shout out my guy Steven Brewer with a $100 super chat. To put it quite simply, this is how every Raw should be. Chicago was a hot crowd. Brooklyn, and especially Philadelphia, better bring it. Steven, thank you so much for the $100 super chat, brother. I really appreciate you being here. And everybody else, I really appreciate you guys being here tonight for the Monday Night Raw post right here on Off the Scripts. We got 4,500 people in here tonight. I really appreciate you guys. Just to give you a glimpse of what we're doing here tonight. We are more than triple everybody else right now live in the community because OTS, when shit like this happens, where are you? Right here. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206, X, Instagram, TikTok, Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. It's going to be a busy week. It's going to be a busy next 2 weeks. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. Let's try for 1,000 likes. I see 973 likes. No reason with 4,500 people in here should there be less than 1,000. Super chats are open. Comments, questions, concerns. Get them on in. We'll hang out at the end of the show. Memberships. Always accepting new members to the channel. Hit that join button. Become a channel member right here on OTS. Go check out all the other content on the channel with more coming tomorrow. As usual, I'll have videos up, and then tomorrow night we're live for episode 41 of Tuesday Night Titans. As always, I'll be joined by my guy Andrew Baydala. We'll go over what happened tonight on Raw with him, get his point of view. And tonight's show is sponsored by my great friends over at Manscaped. Manscaped.com, code SCRIPT20 at checkout. Spring break is coming up, guys. March Madness is coming up. The nice weather's going to be here before you know it. If you're not on board with Manscaped, you're doing it all wrong. Manscaped.com, code SCRIPT20. We'll talk about my friends over at Manscaped a little bit later. 20% off, free shipping, code SCRIPT20 at manscaped.com. Monday Night Raw started off with Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is in the ring. We got a video package of what happened last Friday on SmackDown with Cody, Roman, Solo, Jimmy, Jay, Seth. I thought the closing scene of SmackDown last night was thumbs up. The promo back and forth between Cody and Roman, thumbs down. Cody! I don't want to sit here and tell you Chicago was booing Cody, because they weren't. But I did hear some very audible boos in the crowd. Now, I don't know if that was because they expected CM Punk to start the show. I don't know if those are smart fans that are now anti-Cody fans and pro-Roman, but Cody got majority huge reactions tonight. But there was a small pocket of fans in Chicago, it's not out of the ordinary, that were booing Cody Rhodes. That's what happens in these smart cities. I heard it. So Cody says, so Chicago, what do you want to talk about? He says they're in the final 2 weeks before WrestleMania where the time for talk is over and the wagon is in the barn, you know? No reaction for such a lame quote from Cody. He pointed at Pat McAfee at ringside and asked the crowd to cheer louder for Pat McAfee because Pat had Roman Reigns on his show last week. And then he gave a standing ovation to Michael Cole. So both commentators on Raw got standing ovations from the Chicago crowd. He pivoted back to mentioning Roman. We got a Roman sucks chant in Chicago. He said that it got under his skin that Roman said he was making promises he can't keep. He said Chicago knows better than any other that when he makes a bet or a promise, he absolutely 110% keeps it. He said at a show the other night, a fan held up a sign asking if he'd be the best man at his wedding. He joked about how he explained that to his wife. He said a boy named Hudson asked him to be at his 5th birthday party, and he'll be going. He mentioned the wrestling club that will be going to WrestleMania because of him. He says he does this and asks for nothing back. He said Roman cannot understand why he does things like that. He said Roman thinks he does it out of desperation. He says he dresses and talks and walks the way he does because he pretends to be the champion because the champion isn't here. We got a loud Cody chant breaking out. I'm going to stop there. Obviously, he's talking about Roman being the champion that never shows up to work. This is why he acts and pretends like he is the champion, carries himself as the champion. I get it. He was talking about Roman in that context. But he mentioned he pretends to be the champion because the champion isn't here. The champion. Maybe the promo should have been worded a little bit differently. Because the champion is one champion. There are two champions in WWE. There's a Universal Heavyweight Champion and a World Heavyweight Champion. Ridiculous, I know. There should be one World Champion. But we have two brands. We have Raw and SmackDown, and we have two World Champions. Roman is the champion that doesn't show up to work most of the year. During WrestleMania, he's there. But we also have another champion named Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, even while injured and rehabbing his knee, showed up to work. So maybe it was something that flew over their heads when they were approving the promo, or maybe something that Cody didn't realize when he was saying it. But the champion is also Seth Rollins. You can't say that the champion hasn't showed up to work when the guy on your own brand, the champion of your brand, the tag team partner that you've opted to go into night one with in your corner is the champion as well. I'm just saying. But we all know he was talking about Roman. Maybe it should have been worded a little bit differently. Those are little things that I pick up on. You might not find it to be a big deal. I do. Always go back and proofread what you're writing. That's all I'm saying. He said he respects Reigns, but he is aware that he screwed him out of the biggest dream he had at last year's WrestleMania. He said, although he respects him, please understand, I hate your guts. We'll stop there. So Cody on Friday, this is what I don't understand. Was it really mind games? Or was it Cody just being Cody Rhodes and being good guy Cody Rhodes, who has the kids asking him to show up to their birthday party, and for grown men, inviting Cody Rhodes to be the best man at his wedding? This man on Friday went into a face-to-face with Roman Reigns for the first time since all four guys in the Night 1 main event were in the ring several weeks ago on Friday Night SmackDown with no outside interference. No Seth, no Rock. It was Cody and Roman. He offered him a handshake on Friday. And on Monday, he's out here saying that he hates Roman's guts, Cody Rhodes said. But you just tried to shake his hand on Friday and willingly would have done so if Roman extended his hand towards yours. Which is it? You can't respect him and then also hate his guts. Hating someone's guts is a very direct statement. If you hate someone's guts, you don't respect them. You don't. But here we are. Again, might be a little oversight. But again, these are the things that I pick up on. So he hates Roman's guts. He said it's fine with him if he hates him too. He says it's his fault that he and his cousins can't have the Yank Fest he and The Rock wanted. He said, listen, I won the Royal Rumble for a second year in a row. He said if he's learned anything from last year and pointing at the WrestleMania sign, it's that you can't do it alone. He said all he asks back is that on April 6th, for his tag team match, the fans ride with him in the tag team match and then in his match against Roman on April 7th. Will you ride with me? So Cody just got done saying that he doesn't do anything out of desperation. Meanwhile, he's begging the fans to ride with him on April 6th and April 7th. Again, poor choice of words. He pointed at the sign, and as he talked about defeating the final boss and the tribal chief, all of a sudden, The Rock comes out, and everybody loses their mind. Pat McAfee's losing his mind. Michael Cole's losing his mind. The fans are losing their mind. Rock gets in the ring after his big entrance. He then stared down Cody. We got a holy shit chant that was bleeped out by the USA Network. I can't fucking wait for WWE to move to Netflix. What a way to kill a fucking moment, huh? Holy shit chants being blacked out on cable television. Man, oh man, does the PG era blow dick, honestly. Cody stared back at Rock. This is awesome chants rang out. We also got a loud CM Punk chant breaking out. Michael Cole said, yeah, he's here too. Rock slowly stepped towards Cody Rhodes. He was milking this moment for as long as he could. That's why fans got bored and started chanting CM Punk. He slowly stepped towards Cody Rhodes with his hands behind his back. Puts his hands behind his back. He leans in. He whispers something to Cody Rhodes. He says, something. Fans picked up on what he said. Tonight. And then the camera zoomed away and filmed a different angle. Tonight, I'm going to make you bleed. Is what people picked up on. So he steps back. He exits the ring. Fans booed. Rock walks back. Cody's in the ring. He looks distressed. He looks concerned about what The Rock told him. So that was it. That was the way the segment went off the air. I thought everything here was thumbs up. The energy, the ambiance, the feeling, the surprise of The Rock not being there, showing up unadvertised. It was great. I didn't expect him. I'm like, holy shit, he's fucking here. Oh man, Cody and Rock face to face. But we didn't get any words. Clearly, you're going to feel disappointed. WWE did the one thing that they usually do that sometimes, most of the time, they don't follow up on. You can't get mad at me for thinking that nothing was going to happen. More times than not, I could turn blue in the face talking about all the fucking times we were cock-teased, that we were fucking played with, bait and switch, false advertising. WWE almost never follows through on the same night when a segment ends the way that they did tonight with Cody and Rock. Never. Especially during the Vince administration. Never. They would have milked this shit till next Monday or on Friday. Nobody wants to wait anymore. Cody even said in the beginning of his fucking promo, the time for games are over. It is now 2 weeks before WrestleMania. No more talk. Right? He said the wagon is in the barn. Good. I'm glad they actually lived up on that promise. So Rock telling Cody whatever he told him off camera, off microphone, was the story of this Raw. What did Rock tell Cody? We got Jackie Redmond asking Rock, what'd you say out there? Why don't you go ask Cody? Don't ask me. I'm not giving you the fucking answers you want. Go ask Cody. Then she follows up with Cody. Cody. What did Rock tell you out there? Sorry, Jackie, I can't talk about it. It's something I don't really want to utter anymore. At this point, I'm like, holy shit, man. Are they going to follow through? 15,000 people in the arena, losing their minds over The Rock, and nothing, no verbal dialogue whatsoever. All 3 hours. You can't hate on people who might have been disappointed with that. You can't. But what I thought they did was typical WrestleMania build, and I enjoyed what they gave us. I was just hoping, keeping my fingers crossed at the end of that segment, that they followed through on it. And if they didn't, I'd be on here raising fucking hell. I'd be out here asking, why are we playing games 2 weeks away from WrestleMania and you're holding shit back? Clearly, by the end of the night, they didn't hold anything back. If this doesn't snap Cody Rhodes into the next fucking realm of anger, I don't know what the fuck will. Again, all done by design. Maybe on Friday, certainly on Monday when they're all in attendance. Maybe we get that Cody Rhodes, that American nightmare Cody Rhodes that is going to go scorch earth on Dwayne Johnson. Maybe both verbally and physically. That'd be something. All these weeks of wanting Cody to be a fucking man finally pays off on the go home. We'll see. 4 minutes and 18 seconds. Dave in the chat says 4 minutes and 18 seconds of no words between Rock and Cody Rhodes. WWE likes to sell you on a moment. WWE likes to get you in the building because of a moment. Hopefully it all pays off next Monday when they're all in Barclays. We move on from that to Judgment Day's Clubhouse, which is looking a little bit more cozy every single week. Finn Balor and Damian Priest were throwing darts. Rhea Ripley told Dominic Mysterio that she'd have preferred a heads up about having unfinished business with his dad. Tell me next time. Sorry, Mommy. I won't do it again. Rhea Ripley making some social media headlines this week. Not only with the picture she posted today, which went viral. She did Rikishi's stink face to both Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler actually requested to be stink-faced by Rhea Ripley, making all of the virgins out there who stalk her and drool over her daily jealous. Sorry, geeks. You got to deal with Buddy Matthews. That's all his. Buddy Matthews actually tweeted, well, this happens to me every night, adding fuel to the virgin fire. Gotta love it. She said she'd like to have joined in with Rey Mysterio, beating up on Rey. He said she was right, it won't happen again. Balor said he's frustrated with Ricochet, making them look like fools. Priest says he has an idea for how the odds can be in their favor heading into WrestleMania. Rhea then told JD McDonagh to just beat Ricochet. You gotta do it for the Judgment Day. Dom said he'll make sure things go their way. Dominic and McFish headed to the ring. Ripley said with disgust, just go win something. Okay. When Rhea Ripley says go do something, you go do it. Ricochet versus JD McNuggets. Dominic Mysterio was on the outside. The bell, 31 minutes into the show, finally rings. We got a great fucking match out of these two, man. Excellent stuff between these two. This was a black and gold match. The only thing that was missing was Mauro Ranallo on commentary. This is exactly the type of shit that needs to start Monday Night Raw. This is the type of match you want on Monday Night Raw. This match is what Monday Night Raw should embody. This type of match. The one thing about this match, a couple of things I noticed about this match. Number one, again, I'm going to put my tinfoil cap on here. I don't think WWE realizes what they have in Ricochet. I don't. WWE does not realize what they have in Ricochet. Triple H might. Vince McMahon did not. But it's taking a little bit longer than I'd like for Ricochet to get integrated in the Triple H administration. It started off pretty well. And I don't know what had happened. He showed up in the Royal Rumble, and since the Royal Rumble, he hasn't had much to do with no role at WrestleMania. AEW has been pushing Will Ospreay pretty fucking hard. And if WWE wants their own version of Will Ospreay, they got it in Ricochet. The in-ring ability is just about the same. The physicality might be a little bit more on Will Ospreay's side, but the things that they can do in the ring, I mean, whatever Will Ospreay could do, Ricochet could do. They got to start pushing Ricochet as a top-level guy. I don't know what's taking them so long. The mic work is not there, clearly. It may never be there. Some people just never grasp holding a microphone and cutting a promo. But what he lacks in the verbal promo department, he makes up for fucking tenfold in the ring. I don't know what we're waiting for. This is the type of shit we need to see on Monday Night Raw. This may have jump-started Ricochet getting pushed again on Monday night, post-WrestleMania. Don't know what's going to happen. He may disappear for all we know again. But if WWE doesn't want to lose him to AEW, then they need to start doing something substantial with him. This match was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic stuff. JD McDonagh is fucking great. If you're not caught up on how good McDonagh is, start. I could sit here and throw out all the McDonald's puns at JD McDonagh. JD McDonagh is a great professional wrestler. You could sit there and tell me, oh, but he's small. Oh, he's got a big head. Oh, his accent is too thick. Oh, he can't cut a promo. JD McDonagh is a fantastic professional wrestler. Putting him in the Judgment Day was one of the best decisions that they have made creatively in the Triple H administration. Love it. This match was great. Ricochet. We come back from commercial break. We go into a commercial break legitimately a minute into the match. We come back. McDonagh was in control. Ricochet came back with a handspring elbow, springboard clothesline, standing shooting star. He goes for a cover. He gets a 2 count. McDonagh responded with a standing Spanish fly and then a brainbuster. JD McDonagh has one of the best brainbusters in the business. Love it. Ricochet comes back. He nailed an avalanche poison rana, which you don't see in any WWE matches, especially on the main roster. McDonagh landed on his face safely. Ricochet then follows up with a recoil. Dominic realized the match was over. McDonagh was close to the ropes, and behind the referee's vantage point, Dominic placed McDonough's leg on the rope for a break of the cover. Ricochet tried a springboard 450, but McDonagh got his knees up and applied a cradle on Ricochet for a 2 count. McDonagh was then back in control. We go to another commercial break. We're back from the break. McDonagh hits a sit-out powerbomb for a 2 count. Ricochet, he was in the grasp of McDonagh. He was going for his devil inside finish, which is great. It's like a ripcord, snap, back suplex. He went for the devil inside, and Ricochet, in one fell swoop, fucking turned this thing into a Canadian destroyer. Michael Cole was losing his fucking mind on commentary. Absolutely ridiculous. Popped the crowd, it popped Cole, popped McAfee, it popped me, it popped you. He went up top. Dominic jumps on the apron. Caused a distraction. Referee was just watching. All of a sudden, when Dominic was told to get down off the apron, he accidentally, not really, hit the top rope, which caused Ricochet to be crotched on the top turnbuckle. Referee kicks Dominic out of the ringside area. Referee tossed Dom. Ricochet hit McDonagh with a shooting star, but McDonagh wasn't laying down. McDonagh was standing up. This man hits a shooting star press with his opponent in the upright position, nailed it perfectly. 1, 2, 3, and Ricochet beats McDonagh in a great television match to open Monday Night Raw. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Don't know what they do with Ricochet after this, but if he's not in the cards for a major push at the end of WrestleMania season, I don't know. I don't know what we're doing. WWE needs to take what they have in Ricochet and highlight it. Shit like this. Highlight it every week. You know, we're not prone to seeing standing Spanish flies and fucking shooting star presses and poison ranas and Canadian destroyers. on the main roster. I don't want to see it every fucking week. That's a problem when it comes to AEW. We are so prone to weekly AEW television that we see this shit every single week. It's almost, I shrug my shoulders. It's like, all right, I've seen it 1,000 fucking times before. But on WWE television, we don't see that at all. So when we see it after such a long layoff, it's very impactful. They got to let Ricochet pull out one of those moves every now and then. Keep it to what he has in his arsenal. I don't want to see fucking Miz doing Canadian Destroyers. I don't want to see nothing like that. That's the type of shit that's going to get Ricochet over with the audience. That's the type of shit he should be doing on Raw. Hopefully they figure out what to do with him, man. He's way too good to be in the position that he's in. CM Punk. Oh, my goodness. CM Punk is back on WWE television. And CM Punk needs to be back on WWE television. My God, is the man missed on TV every single week. CM Punk brings something to the show that no one else can duplicate at all. At all. And you saw it here tonight with CM Punk. Crowd obviously is a Chicago crowd. Clearly everybody's there to see CM Punk. Clearly he's only going to get that type of reaction in Chicago. And he's going to be allowed to do and say things in Chicago that he's not going to be allowed to do on a weekly basis. He was off the cuff. There was no handcuffs for him. There was no scripted promos. He went out there and literally shot with a loaded Magnum. Did CM Punk. Loved it. He comes out. He's obviously in the brace. He's got his CM Punk hoodie on. All black. Crowd's loving it. They're happy to see him. I'm happy to see him. You're happy to see him. CM Punk gets in the ring. Says he has a lot to say and a lot of business to get to. But it feels so good to be in Chicago. He says everyone has been asking if he'll be at WrestleMania, and he will be. He says he's still not medically cleared and ponders the possibility of what he could be doing at the event. He says a lot of people need to talk about him, and then addresses Pat McAfee's interview with Roman Reigns. He then addresses Reigns and says he has a feeling they'll see each other down the line before he brings up Seth freaking Rollins and takes a few jabs at him. So Punk was looking at Pat McAfee and basically said, you know, I know you got your own show going on over there. You got your own little production. You know, not really my cup of coffee. You know, I prefer the experience and the drive-through, he says. Everybody knows what the experience and the drive-through is. CM Punk out there on national television giving props to Jim Cornette's podcast without actually mentioning Jim Cornette. So if you didn't think CM Punk was shooting from the hip there, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. So, everybody wants to know what Punk is going to be doing at WrestleMania. People have said referee. People have said guest host. People have said commentary. Everyone was asking him what he'll be doing at WrestleMania. Punk felt great, but he wasn't medically cleared. He said, but my mouth still works. Why don't you go ask my wife, April? So this guy's making sexual directed comments at his own wife on national television. So not only did he mention Jim Cornette's podcast indirectly, he's saying basically he loves eating out on national television. Wink, wink. Great man, that CM Punk. Great man. So, if you asked him that 10 years ago, if he would be the host of WrestleMania, he would have thought hosting was beneath him, but right now he'd love to just be there. He'd love to just be at WrestleMania. We want him at WrestleMania. We do. WrestleMania needs CM Punk. So he continues on, and he goes on to say, he said Reigns has earned the right to mention his name after people have been mentioning and talking about CM Punk. Pat McAfee, he mentioned. And he mentions Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns has earned the right to mention my name. He says as he climbs the mountain and Roman Reigns is on his way down the mountain, they'll see each other soon. So they basically planted seeds for one of CM Punk's feuds right here with this promo. So in this promo, he's mentioned that he loves eating out. He loves Jim Cornette. And Roman Reigns. And a match with CM Punk versus Roman Reigns is going to happen. Great. He says he and Seth don't see eye to eye. Mostly because he wears high heels now. But that's a different story for a different day. He said Seth shouldn't have LOL'd him, that he hurt his arm. But maybe he's earned that right. Coming from someone with two bad knees, I find that kind of humorous, he says. Punk said the one person that hasn't mentioned me, though, is Dwayne. The Rock hasn't said a word about me. He said maybe that's because he remembers coming face to face with him. He realized his arms were just too short to box with God. Crowd popped at that line. He then said, then there's Drew McIntyre. Everybody was hoping that Drew McIntyre would come out there. Drew McIntyre, by the way, stopped at Mindy's Bakery earlier today. They were closed because they're not open on Monday. Drew McIntyre continued to then shit on Mindy's and asking why their business isn't open at the start of the work week. He then goes on to say they're probably shit bakery anyway, and that their muffins and pastry goods are shit. Great. Gotta love Drew McIntyre, man. Nobody's doing the social media game right now like Drew. Maybe Rock, but Drew. He then said, Drew McIntyre. Let's talk about him. He says he doesn't live perpetually on the internet and he handles his business face-to-face like a man. All of a sudden, Drew McIntyre's music interrupted Punk. His music is playing. It comes out wearing his T-shirt. Savior of WrestleMania. He's got his kilt on. Punk is yelling in the microphone, turn that stupid music off. Nobody wants to hear that. I'm not medically cleared, but get your bitch ass in here, he tells Drew McIntyre. I guess the PG guidelines don't regard CM Punk either. Drew says, I'd get in the ring, but look what happened last time I got in the ring with you. Punk asked if he's a Scottish psychopath in a kilt or an internet troll in a skirt. Drew smiled and said, listen, it's 2024. You can get canceled with comments like that. He ain't joking around. No lies detected here by Drew McIntyre. Drew walked around the ring and said, it's perfect that Punk is standing in the ring injured. He said it's divine intervention. So Drew pointed at his T-shirt that says he injured CM Punk. He's got CM Punk's name on the back of a shirt, right? Savior of WrestleMania. The first thing that's on the back of his shirt in a check mark is injure CM Punk. CM Punk said, I've never had to put another man's name on a T-shirt to sell it. Burn. I love it. So Drew started to pull this T-shirt off of him. He ripped his T-shirt. He couldn't get the shirt off. Underneath, he was wearing the other CM Punk shirt that he had with CM Punk's tombstone on it, with him kneeling over the tombstone. WrestleMania dreams ended 2024 to 2024. So McIntyre pulled this one shirt off to reveal the other shirt, and he said he had trouble taking it off because of the size of his biceps. He then looks at CM Punk and says, something you probably never had an issue with because Punk injured his bicep. He's out for 7 months with a torn bicep. McIntyre's internet game is now bleeding onto Monday Night Raw, and we're all hanging on every single word these two guys have going at each other. Drew said the most ironic thing about Punk is that he never drinks and he never does drugs, but he spends all of his time in rehab. I love that line. Punk nodded. Okay, sure thing. So then Drew stood on the announce desk and says he can tell Punk hates him. He says he doesn't hate Punk. I don't hate you. Punk, believe it or not, you complete me. Punk told fans to boo this man and tell him who they paid to see here tonight. Drew told CM Punk, listen, hear me out. Let me explain it to you. Drew was talking. Punk said he couldn't hear him. Why don't you step in the ring? And then McIntyre says, you don't want me to get in the ring. You might have a weapon in there. Punk then laid down on his back, inviting Drew McIntyre to get into the ring. Drew then sits on the announce desk, cross-legged, like CM Punk usually does, and he told the camera guy not to shoot up his kilt, you pervert. Drew says he's realized all along that he's always been the chosen one. Punk asked, oh yeah? You're the chosen one. Who chose you exactly? Who chose you? What was his name? What paragon of good virtue chose you? It wasn't the good people of Chicago. CM Punk on national television threw a fucking bomb on Vince McMahon without mentioning Vince McMahon's name. Somewhere a fine is being administered, I'm sure. Or Vince McMahon is on the phone, yelling at Phil. What the fuck? CM Punk basically asked Drew McIntyre to say Vince McMahon's name on national television and then goes on to say, what paragon of good virtue chose you exactly? Love it. When we can drag Vince McMahon's name in the mud over and over and over again, you're going to get a fucking smile out of my face. Now that's what I call good shit, pal. Drew said it was fun, and he felt like a fan. He told Punk he's so good at talking, maybe he should be guest commentator for his victory over Seth Rollins in front of fans in the stadium. All of a sudden, Seth Rollins' music plays. He dances out, looking ridiculous as always. So Seth is out there. Seth says it's his show. We're going to see CM Punk chant starting. Punk said it might be Seth's show, but this is my city. Seth says he understands this is an away game for him. Love the analogies here that they were using. If you two children are done trying to out-troll each other, maybe we can get down to business. Says you don't get to make decisions about the World Heavyweight Championship match at WrestleMania because you're not in it. Punk reacted to Seth, and Seth basically is standing there. Punk is basically spitting in his face. Seth asked the fans if they want to see Punk on commentary during his match against Drew McIntyre. Fans cheered. McAfee says, yeah, that would be fun. And then all 15,800 fans started chanting, referee, referee. Seth pointed at his surgically repaired arm and says, listen, I know you want him to be the referee, but that's his counting arm. Punk then gets on his fucking knees and counts with his left arm. 1, 2, 3. Punk said he's not sure he could be objective with these two dipshits at WrestleMania. He was bleeped. Drew McIntyre then says, whoa, PG, brother. Seth asks Punk if he wants to know what he thinks. Seth says he doesn't think anything about him. He says he's a non-factor to him. Seth told Punk that he needs him to have a moment at WrestleMania. The irony of that. We could be looking at CM Punk winning the Royal Rumble next year. Would he need CM Punk, or would CM Punk rather need Seth Rollins for that? No. Maybe. Who knows? He said, the irony of Punk narrating his finest hour hasn't been lost on him. He said, the way things are going, That's about as close as you're going to get to a world championship again. He said all he needs from Punk is to stay out of his way. Punk took a breath and said, all right, it's decided. I'll do commentary. He says, I'm going to do something that neither you, Drew, or your wife, Seth, could do. And that is make both of you interesting. He took the mic, threw it down, gave Seth and McIntyre 2 middle fingers, and left the ring. His music played. McIntyre started shouting into the microphone, no, 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 cut his music. He's not getting the last say. He said Punk is obsessed with him, and he thinks about him all day and studies his social media. I'm living your dream. You are my number one stan. Punk listened, turned away, and walked. Seth then caught Drew with a surprise super kick. Seth then delivered a stomp. Punk turned back around to watch. And that was the way the segment came to a close. Adding CM Punk to this World Championship match is a beautiful touch. It really is. If Punk is not going to be in the match, and Punk needed to do something at WrestleMania, you're going to do the one thing with CM Punk that he's very good at, and that is using his voice. Get him on commentary, sit him next to Cole, sit him next to Graves, and have him commentate that match at WrestleMania. Drew wants him, the troll that he is, wants Punk to narrate him winning the World Championship. McIntyre has made it such a mission statement to throw everything this WrestleMania season that Punk had dreamt of in his face, because McIntyre is going to be living it. It's not going to be a dream. He's going to be living it. Seth Rollins still hates CM Punk. Nothing that had happened has been forgotten. Nothing you've told me already has been forgotten. It would be great to see you narrate my finest hour. They both want Punk to narrate them winning the World Championship match. You can't get any more perfect than that. For the first time this WrestleMania season, this match has been made interesting. The match itself is going to be fine. But the fact that Punk is now added adds a whole different level of spice to the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match. And clearly, McIntyre, in my honest opinion, with all that he has done about CM Punk, if he doesn't win the World Championship at WrestleMania, I'm going to be disappointed. WWE let these guys go out there unadulterated for 20 minutes. This felt like an Attitude Era promo in 2024 with them trying to push the envelope as much as they could and holding back at the same time. Punk out there being CM Punk in Chicago, Seth off the cuff, McIntyre off the cuff, them throwing verbal spats at each other. I love it. Everything about this was one of the best pro wrestling segments all year. Whether it was designed to go that long or whether it was designed to be as risque as it was beautiful. Everything about it. One thing is for certain, though. CM Punk needs to be back on TV weekly. The man is a national treasure. He makes the show that much more important. Everything about him, everything that he does. Monday Night Raw feels like Raw when Punk is there. This segment was fantastic. Drew McIntyre needs to win that World Championship. CM Punk planted seeds for a match with Seth Rollins, a match with Roman Reigns, and a match with Drew McIntyre. Clearly, WWE's got a vision for CM Punk when he gets back from injury. He's going to be back around SummerSlam. McIntyre, Rollins, Reigns. You may be looking at the trajectory of CM Punk within the next year. Seriously. They planted seeds for everything that CM Punk has coming up when he gets back from injury, as long as he can stay healthy. Ivy Nile. She went one-on-one with Candice LeRae. This went 2 minutes. 2 minutes. None of this mattered. None of this mattered. They're continuing to tease a different character for Candice LeRae. they did this stupid gimmick where LeRae faked a leg injury so the referee stopped Niall from continuing the match. The referee literally pulled her out of the way, and his direct action led to LeRae stacking up Niall in a cover with her feet on the ropes for the pinfall win. The referee also did not catch LeRae using the feet on the ropes. LeRae pranced about in the aisleway. Indy Hartwell was not pleased that Candice LeRae is acting the way that she did and acting like a bitch. Candice LeRae wins in 2 minutes. You know, we just got done reading excerpts from Ronda Rousey's new book called My Fight. And in this book, she documents how WWE women were given no time to showcase their abilities in the ring. These men and women on WWE television want you to think that the women are equal to the men. She complained that men back in the day, they got their entrances and their theme music 10 times as long as the women got action in the ring. Meanwhile, we get Candice LeRae and Ivy Nile going 2 minutes on Monday Night Raw. Now, I'm not advocating for these two to go 20 minutes, but, you know, in the light of Ronda Rousey's excerpts that are being released from her book, and then you see Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell out there having a match with Ivy Nile that goes 90 seconds, not really a good look. I don't know. As long as the women are presented on the show, I guess everybody's okay, right? None of this mattered. Backstage, The New Day. They were chatting with DIY, taking friendly digs at each other. R-Truth and Miz walked up to them. Truth says it's going to be the greatest match ever. It's going to be New Day versus D-Generation X. He then confused Pat McAfee and called him JBL. Miz then corrected him. R-Truth is losing his mind, slowly but surely, before we get to WrestleMania. So we got DIY versus The New Day. Obviously, WWE is putting all of the teams in the 6-team scramble ladder match in matches together for, you guessed it, folks, momentum. This match went to a DQ. Again, not much mattered here. The only thing that mattered here was the fact that Judgment Day laid everyone out after the 6 minutes was up. They beat down everybody. Judgment Day's out there laying everybody out, including Miz, who tried to help, who was in his suit. Truth remained on commentary during the match, and he tried to tell the production truck to go to commercial break so he could avoid a beatdown. Judgment Day said, nope, we're going to beat you down. They threw R-Truth into the ring, and he fought them off until Priest cut him off and hit Truth with a razor's edge. Balor then finished him off with a coup de grace. Judgment Day beat up The New Day, DIY, and Awesome Truth. Great. Do they walk out of WrestleMania with the tag team titles? I'm going to say no. Awesome Truth are not the odds-on favorites to win this thing, but I'm assuming that they give R-Truth his WrestleMania moment, and I think that they win the tag team titles at WrestleMania. Some people actually pitched the idea to me that R-Truth would be so fucking stupid to grab one title and grab another title from somebody else. R-Truth grabs one title, somebody else grabs another title, and we get split titles and 2 champions crowned at WrestleMania. Because R-Truth is fucking stupid. I could see that being the case. Maybe WWE goes that route and splits the titles via R-Truth's stupidity. It was just an idea. I don't think it's the best idea, but we'll see what happens. Kathy Kelly interviewed Gunther. This was not Gunther's finest moment on the microphone. He says he doesn't believe Sami Zayn can beat him. And the fans don't believe it either. He says he doesn't believe Sami could even beat Bronson Reed tonight. She asked him if he'll be scouting the match. I just told you, I don't think Sami can beat Bronson Reed. And walked away. He gave a non-answer. Andrade. He was supposed to wrestle Ivar tonight. That match got scrapped. In his place, he wrestled Giovanni Vinci. This went 7 minutes. Again, Andrade felt like an afterthought. I don't know what we're doing with Andrade, but Andrade has not gotten off to a rip-roaring start on Monday Night Raw. I'm sure you guys feel the same way as well. Maybe after WrestleMania, we'll start picking up things with Andrade. Andrade hit a couple of moonsaults here. You would think that this would be a great match because Vinci's fucking fantastic, and so is Andrade. Andrade hit a couple of moonsaults and a running boot. Vinci cut him off with a clothesline. We went to commercial break. We come back from break. Andrade hit his back elbow, twisting double underhook DDT, which he's now calling the message. He gets the win over Giovanni Vinci in 7 minutes. They did acknowledge that Andrade was supposed to wrestle Ivar, but he was not medically cleared tonight. I wonder why. Hopefully Ivar's all right. He's been doing some great work on Monday night. Andrade, though, gets a victory. Nobody seemed to care. Nobody cared. Rhea Ripley. We got some ladies building towards their championship match here tonight. Rhea Ripley. She walks out with Dominic. They make their entrance. You could just see Rhea Ripley commands the attention and owns the fucking room no matter what room she walks into. She knows she's the shit. Rhea Ripley said she doesn't feel she's getting enough attention. Really? Go look at the amount of interactions on her last social media picture. Go look at the amount of viral tweets. My entire Twitter timeline was nothing but Rhea Ripley doing a stink face to Nia Jax. She's not getting enough attention. I think she's getting way too much attention. You sexual fiends out there, man, put it away. Get your mind out of the gutter. She said she could have attacked Becky Lynch during one of her many matches, but she decided to be respectful. She asked Dom if Becky should be giving her full attention. Dominic then lifted the mic to speak. He said Becky's name, and as soon as he said Becky's name, Becky's theme music hit. Becky comes out. She's in the ring. She's got a microphone. The man has come around to Chicago. Great. She said she doesn't have to wait for her to wrestle 20 minutes to feel safe to come out and confront her. I could never do that to you because you don't wrestle on Raw anymore, do you? Rhea Ripley asks, why'd she wrestle before her WrestleMania match? She says she doesn't need to wrestle to earn fans' attention. She said she can post a video online and watch these freaks eat it up. That's exactly what they think of you, folks. They think of you as freaks. Becky gagged and told her, listen to yourself. Listen to yourself talk. She said Rhea likes to post her ass on social media for attention, whereas she busts her ass in the ring, night in and night out, to prove herself. She says there's always going to be someone newer, younger, and hotter. But the long game in the business is about skill and merit and survival and how you come back when the chips are down and you're not the chosen one anymore. She said Rhea Ripley hasn't experienced that yet. Rhea said she's right. She told Dominic that Becky has been through it all. She said she's a survivor and she reminds her of something. She said she reminds me of a cockroach. She said she's hard to kill, but it's not impossible. She said she wants to leave her alive so she can sit on her couch and see what she does next, sitting next to her daughter. I want you to listen to your daughter. Call me Mommy. Fans oohed and awed. We got a mommy chant breaking out, even though Rhea Ripley just basically mentioned Becky's daughter in a defamatory way. Yeah, you're going to be sitting next to your daughter, retired, too injured to compete. She's going to be watching me and calling me Mommy. Becky then got angry and said this was her one pass Because if she mentions her daughter's name again, it'll be the last words she speaks. She said she might think it's funny, but she just can't throw it out there. She said her dad never got to meet her daughter. She said he was proud of everything he ever did or she did in the ring. But what he'd be most proud of is the mother she's become to her daughter. She said it might be a joke to you, but it's not a joke to me. Fans started to applaud because Becky started to get a little raspy in the voice and started to get a little emotional. She said there is nothing respectful about Rhea. She said Rhea won't throw the first punch because she knows at that point there is no going back for you. Ripley stepped up to Becky. Dominic pushed her away. Becky said, it's the other way around, isn't it? That's a first. Dominic then stepped towards Becky, and Becky fucking leveled Dominic with a straight right hand that looked like it connected a little bit too hard. They showed the instant replay to it. It looked vicious. Then both ladies began to fight. Rhea threw Becky shoulder first into the ring post, and they went to the outside, and she went to go check on Dominic. Becky leapt off the ringside steps onto both Dominic and Rhea Ripley, and the referees ran out to separate both of them. Now, I don't want to come off as insensitive here, man. I really don't. I really feel that mentioning Becky's daughter is taking the dialogue and making it sound and feel a little forced. Like, I get it. Becky and her character is come from behind, adversity, prove all doubters wrong, and overcome. I get it. But to see Rhea mention Becky's daughter and then Becky cry and get emotional and mention her father, to me, it doesn't do anything to me personally. It doesn't make me feel more interested in seeing these ladies fight. It doesn't. I just look at it and say, I get where they're going with it, but I don't think that was needed. It's not going to make me more interested in seeing the match at WrestleMania, and I feel like it was a little desperate. Again, I don't want to come off as insensitive. I just didn't think we needed to go there, honestly. But what I am happy about is that these women got some fucking dialogue back and forth to one another. We needed something like this, and we got it. How much of it was effective? Nobody knows. But come WrestleMania, I think both women are going to fucking kill it, and they're going to deliver a great match. But I did feel like Becky's promo was a little cringy, and her emotion was not really needed. It wasn't really needed. At this point, Becky should be fucking angry. We didn't need Rhea to mention her daughter for Becky to get angry. We didn't. Sami Zayn. He was backstage, and Chad Gable approached him and said he wanted to talk about how things ended last week. Sami said it's fine that he doesn't think he could beat Gunther. He says he wants to make Gunther eat his words, though, starting tonight. Gable told Sami to get out of his head and get his ass out there and not let Gunther distract him. Sami says he's right, and he knows what he has to do tonight. He said he appreciates him saying this to him tonight. They shook hands. Gable and Sami Zayn are on the same page. Sami Zayn versus Bronson Reed. Match went about 10 minutes, and I am surprised that we actually got the outcome that we did this evening with Bronson Reed going over Sami Zayn on the road to WrestleMania. He pinned Sami 1, 2, 3. Bronson Reed hit a shoulder tackle off the apron. We got a commercial break. Sami Zayn started to come back, hits a clothesline. He got distracted because Gunther waltzed out and stood in the aisleway, standing there with the Intercontinental title draped over his shoulder. So Zayn is fighting from behind again. He hits a tornado DDT on Bronson Reed. Zayn set up for the haluva kick. He hesitated again because he looked over at Gunther. So basically what Gable told him moments before the match, don't let Gunther distract you. He's going to get into your head. Sami Zayn clearly did not listen. Because of the distraction, Reed turned him inside out with a clothesline, hit a senton, goes to the top, and delivered a tsunami for the 1, 2, 3 on Sami Zayn. Why am I surprised that Bronson Reed beat Sami Zayn? Well, Sami Zayn, realistically, if you're Pro Wrestling 101 following the handbook, Sami Zayn shouldn't be losing going into a championship match with someone like Gunther. I don't know if WWE is wanting to build the adversity for Sami Zayn going into a match that nobody expects him to win. Maybe it adds to the overall storyline arc of Sami Zayn. But Bronson Reed doesn't have anything to do at WrestleMania. I don't know why he's on the receiving end of a victory. Sami Zayn is the one challenging for a championship. Don't you want him to look the best he could be going into a match that nobody really is picking him to win? Kind of backwards booking. Unless he is so deep in thought and so much of a mind fuck because of what Gunther is doing that he ends up pulling out the victory and beats Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. I don't think that's the right decision. If this was any other time, I would say, yes, Sami Zayn should beat Gunther. He's the guy. I don't think Sami Zayn should be beating Gunther. I don't think Gunther should be losing to anybody, quite honestly. I don't. I feel like whatever is going to happen to Sami Zayn, Chad Gable is going to reap the benefits of it, see what not to do, learn from Sami, and Gable is going to be the one to beat Gunther. That may be the direction that they're going. But at the end of the day, if I was to choose one option here for Gunther, I don't have him lose to anybody. I don't have him lose the Intercontinental Championship. I have him hold that title throughout most of this year as well until he wins the World Championship. I have him win both the Intercontinental and the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at the same exact time. I do. He gives up the IC title. He goes on to reign as the World Heavyweight Champion, and he remains undefeated. In the back of my mind, that's what I want to happen. In my heart, I want him to drop the title to somebody and put someone else over, because at this point, Gunther is bulletproof. No matter if he loses to somebody, you know, whether it's Gable or Zayn, it's not going to do anything to him. He's going to be fine. But the mentality that I have is like, oh, this guy can't lose. I don't want to see him lose. Do you want to see him lose right now? No. Nobody deserves it. Nobody is shown that they should be the guy to beat Gunther. Nobody. Maybe that's what they're building here with Gable. We'll see. I was surprised to see Sami lose. I was. Jey Uso cut a promo on Shinsuke Nakamura. Solo and Jimmy suddenly appeared. Jimmy said, "No yeet," and left with Solo. Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn was pissed that he lost to Bronson Reed. And he was backstage. Gable addressed Sami. Sami was frustrated with the loss. He says he knew what Gunther was doing, but he still let him get in his head. How did I let that happen? With everything that's at stake, Gable said that's what Gunther does. He says he plants seeds of doubt. He said Sami is one of the best, but Gunther plays mind games. He says he needs to be a different man. He needs a different approach to beat Gunther. He said they can talk it over if he's interested. Sami said yes. So Gable is going to teach Sami on everything he knows about Gunther. Very interesting. Main event. Jey Uso. He went one-on-one with Shinsuke Nakamura. This was the main event of the show. 45 minutes into the top of the hour here. So we were at 10:45. Match went about 7 minutes. None of the match actually mattered. I started questioning myself. I don't know why the fuck this match was the main event. You knew something was going to happen here, whether it was going to be with Jimmy or Jay or the Bloodline, or I was hoping Rock, which is eventually what we got. So we go to commercial break right away. We're back from break. Solo and Jimmy showed up at ringside after Nakamura kneed Jay in the back of the neck. Seth and Cody ran out and fought them. Cody and Jay brawled to the back as Seth and Solo fought into the crowd. So again, like I said, doesn't look like Seth is turning on Cody. That narrative needs to be put to bed. Drew came out and yanked Seth back to ringside. He gave Seth the Future Shock DDT on the outside. Brutal. Fans started chanting CM Punk. Nakamura came up from behind Jay. Jay fired back with a super kick, set up for the spear, and he pins Nakamura 1, 2, 3. Jay wins in 7 minutes. So they cut backstage. Cody had disappeared. He was fighting with Jimmy. Solo joined in. Cody got the better of him. All of a sudden, The Rock showed up and attacked Cody. Look at you now, boy. He starts shouting at Cody. He threw a trash can at Cody's head. Says it wasn't, or he wasn't going to let Cody talk trash about him and his family. He then took a toolbox over Cody and started throwing tools around on Cody. He threw him into some production crates, threw him into the wall, throwing him all over the backstage area. He shoved him outside into the parking lot area. The Chicago night, it's raining in Chicago. Shoved him out the door, right in front of the Nightmare Bus. Rock says he's got everybody's attention now. Cody was on his hands and knees, ripped shirt, in the puddle of rain on the outside. Pants are soaking wet. Cody's shirt ripped, soaking wet. He started yanking his shirt off, punching away at him. Starts yelling at him that he's the final boss. He threw him into the side of the Nightmare Bus. World, look at your hero, he said. And Mama Rhodes, look at your son. He kicked Cody again and threw him into the side of the bus door. Like I said, there was a little overture in the parking lot. I thought he was going to dump him over the fucking ledge in the parking lot. He was choking him out. In the background distance, we saw the WWE production truck with John Cena and Stone Cold Steve Austin in the back on this production truck. Again, WWE might be something that was placed strategically there or not, but I think it's an Easter egg. I think it's an Easter egg about what WWE's got planned for WrestleMania, because there are rumors right now that Austin is getting ready for something at WrestleMania. He's going to be involved. Cena's been asking, am I involved in WrestleMania? Well, I'm waiting for my invitation. We'll see what happens. Cody might have the help from WWE legends to help beat the final boss. Two guys that have had quite the history with said final boss. John Cena just got done being brutalized by Solo Sikoa in his last match. So not only does John Cena have a history with The Rock, John Cena has a history with the Bloodline. Stone Cold Steve Austin, as we all know, has a history at WrestleMania with The Rock. We could be getting the Avengers coming together to stop the Bloodline. Again, something that was strategically placed there, and it was shot on camera, not by coincidence. Rock got bleeped out. He mentioned an F-bomb. He mentioned Cody being an asshole. He went off on the Cody crybabies. He said he stuck his nose into The Rock's business. Cody was bleeding from his forehead, and The Rock turned back to punch away at him some more. He then pulled off a weight belt, or had a weight belt, that had The Rock's logo on it with the words, Mama Rhodes. He wiped the blood from Cody and his forehead onto the white belt. He then lifted Cody and shoved him into the camera lens and continued to address Mama Rhodes. He says his daddy talked about hard times, and he's going to go through some at his hands. He kneeled over Cody's body and said, it didn't have to be this way, but now this is the only way. Mama Rhodes, now look at your son. And Monday Night Raw came to a close. Fantastic segment. Fantastic segment to end Monday Night Raw. I loved it. Cody didn't throw one punch, though. Is it just me? Or did you guys find it to be a little odd that Cody didn't try at least one fucking punch? He didn't try to lift his hand one time to punch The Rock. No shoe away, no shove away, no kick, no punch, nothing. He just sold a beating from Dwayne. What we need to see from this point on, I don't know what's going to happen on Friday. I don't know what they got planned for Friday. I don't know if Cody's going to show up on Friday. I don't know if The Rock is going to show up on Friday. We might not get Rock or Roman on Friday. I have no fucking idea. But Monday, they're all going to be in the same building. Cody needs to go scorched earth. We need to see the Cody that we have been waiting to see all WrestleMania season on Monday. If tonight didn't push him to the brink of fucking anger, I don't know what will. Monday Night Raw was fantastic tonight. Rock was fantastic tonight. That had me worried. WWE never follows through on shit like they did in the beginning. Rock whispers to Cody, we'll have to wait till next week. Rock whispers to Cody, we got to wait 2 weeks. Rock whispers to Cody, we got to wait till Friday night. They delivered in the open, played it out throughout the entire show. Rock said, why don't you go ask Cody? Cody says, I don't want to utter what he told me. Thank you. And The Rock shows up at the end of the show and beats the shit out of Cody Rhodes and leaves him bloody. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to next Monday night. Monday Night Raw felt like it was on a completely different... It did not feel like a Monday Night Raw that we have seen all WrestleMania seasons so far. All year. Never mind all WrestleMania season. All year. Excellent show. Very much looking forward to what they deliver on the go-home show next week in Brooklyn, man. It is going to be fucking great. Thank you guys very much for all of your support. We had upwards towards 4,500 people in here tonight. You guys are unbelievable, man. Thank you guys very much for all your support. Follow me on social media. At JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Make sure you guys go check out all the other content on the channel. Plenty of it with more coming tomorrow. We got some news tomorrow, and we got TNT tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. Myself and Andrew Baydala, episode number 41. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. And make sure you guys go check out tonight's sponsor for Off the Script. We are sponsored tonight by my friends over at Manscaped. Fellas, what's going on, man? Spring break's knocking on the door, and you know it's time to upgrade that below-the-belt game. The real flex this year is keeping your boys downstairs fresh and clean. Nobody wants to be the guy with the pube fiesta, man. That's why my friends over at Manscaped created the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, the ultimate weapon to tame those unruly bushes. And you guys can hit the pool party and make sure you are well-groomed this summer by going to manscaped.com, using that code SCRIPT20 at checkout, 20% off, free shipping, international shipping as well. And save yourself on anything that Manscaped provides. They've taken the grooming precision to a whole new level with this trimmer's next-gen dual skin-safe blade head, now accompanied by an upgraded trimmer blade and interchangeable foil blade for enhanced performance. They also hook you up with the Crop Preserver, which is their ball deodorant, and Crop Reviver, their ball toner. The dynamic duo, the Batman and Robin. Dynamic duo to keep your beach balls dry and smelling fresh. You're also going to get the Weed Whacker because nobody likes pesky nose and ear hair. Make sure your nostrils stay pristine with its skin-safe technology, preventing nicks, snags, or tugs in those sensitive holes. Plus, you're going to get 2 freebies. You're going to get the Shed Travel Bag, which is my favorite thing in the entire package, and the Manscaped Boxers. So go get yours today, man. Elevate your travel game and boxers to another level. Manscaped.com, code SCRIPT20 at checkout. 20% off and free international shipping, courtesy of the podcast. Super chats, man. Let's get into them. Michael Krause with a $2 super chat. Good Monday, JD. Hope your weekend went well, bro. No more handshakes or crying, Cody. LOL. No. Cody should be out for The Rock's head. Seriously. Jamel Turney with a $1.99. That's enough Ricochet Judgment Day matches. Yeah, it's getting a little too much. But I will say what McDonagh and Ricochet did tonight was fantastic stuff. Michelle Moran with a $5 super chat. I felt more excited watching Seth Punk Drew than anything Cody Roman has done. Gives off a few vibes of the HBK Taker Hart from a few years ago. I could see that being the case. CM Punk loves a good Bret Hart reference when he can take it, you know? I thought that segment was fantastic television. Might have been a train wreck to some, but I thought it was fantastic television. Michelle also with a $2 super chat. Fans will hate Rock now, and Cody will win at WrestleMania. Cody should win at WrestleMania, no doubt about it. Said Suka with a $4.99. Probably the greatest Raw in the last 10 years. Goddamn, what a show. And gave the Mania build the kick in the ass it needed for the home stretch. Triple H cooked. He did. And I know a lot of people are not going to really say, you know, oh, well, where's the wrestling? When you got Rock, you got Cody, you got Seth, you got Drew, you got Punk. The promo work was off the charts. Who cares? The build was there. Who cares? You got your wrestling tonight. You got your Ricochet JD McDonagh match. You got your Sami Zayn Bronson Reed match. They gave you wrestling. Andrew Cool with a $2 super chat. I want to see a brawl next week. No more promos. There's always time for some more words here, bro. Always. MGM97 with a $1.99. Levesque McMahon finally showed up for work. Foreshadowing with Cena and Austin. Yeah. Shane Brown with 15 months. Hands down. One of the best Raws I've seen in a while. Being in Chicago played a big part. But those kind of shows actually keep me awake. Absolutely. Makes you think that WWE should always be in these big cities before WrestleMania anyway, which I hope is the case. Always. Michael Krause with a $2 super chat. Raw on fire tonight. Cody has to win at Mania 40 now, JD. Yes, he does. Cody Snyder with 23 months. Best part for me was Punk admitting he listens to the Experience and Drive-Thru. Love Punk and Cornette. Not sorry. Listen, man, when are we going to get someone mentioning on the show that they listen to OTS or TNT? Vinny with a $4.99. Best ending in years. I think Twitter X has too much of an influence on wrestling fans today. A lot of people can't think for themselves. No, they can't. Everybody follows one another, man. Nobody has an original thought except for me and a few others. Also, for those in the chat saying pre-taped, who cares? I don't know why anybody was saying pre-taped. What was pre-taped? And why is it a problem if anything was pre-taped? Who cares? You guys love to bitch and complain about the most irrelevant shit. Blurred the Nerd with a $5 super chat. Triple H is cooking now. Punk said, who made you the chosen one? This is almost like Black and Gold. Also, who do you have as your Slammy winners? I don't know, man. I didn't take a look at the categories, nor do I care. Maybe we'll talk about it on OTS tomorrow. Craig Dubs with a $1.99. Cody looks like the singer of Green Day, a total pussy. Well, we'll see what happens next week, man. Cody cannot come out looking like a pussy. I'll tell you that right now. Chris with the 20 months. What's up, JD? Going through some mental health issues right now. This podcast really helps me out. Cheers to you, brother. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you, bro. Good luck, man. I know everybody, including myself, suffers from some mental down days, man. We're here for you. Always find what makes you most happiest, man. If one of those things is this show, that's all I could ask for. Latoya Woods with 6 months. Hello, JD. How are you? I so enjoy your commentary on wrestling. Latoya, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for 6 months. AJ with a $4.99. What's up, JD? The best Raw of the year. Did you notice when The Rock was beating up Cody, they showed Steve Austin and John Cena? I think one of them helps Cody at Mania. Why not both? Why not both? They're saying it was pre-taped because of the bleeped out curse words. Folks, the show was on a 7-second delay. Before we get what The Rock is saying, they already know he said it, which is bleeped out for us on national television. It wasn't a pre-taped segment. God, people are fucking clueless. Tony Brown with a $4.99. I need a reverse stink face from Rhea for about 20 minutes. Tony. Yes, Rhea is a lovely woman. Erin Est, the Cat Miller. Ernest, the Cat Miller. Somebody better call my mama. Somebody better call Mama Rhodes. Judy Caudillo with a $19.99. Thank you, JD. I enjoy your show. I love how honest you are. Cheers. Thank you, Judy. Sometimes my honesty gets me in trouble. Sometimes people think I'm a hater because of my honesty. I'm glad that you see through that. Thank you. Listen, guys, Rhea is a lovely woman, but not my favorite. Lunar Guardian with a 19 months. I'm excited for WrestleMania. I think everybody is Lunar. Dom Wapo with a $4.99. I miss CM Punk on my TV. What a hell of a show, and a lot of off-color comments tonight. And no better place to be than here at the venue with you, JD. Hashtag Mommy Mania. Oh, man. Mommy Mania. Thank you, Dom Wapo. Why reality sucks with a $5 super chat. Not sure if I was watching hardcore porn, but man, that beating to Rhodes probably will be uploaded to those websites. Hashtag OTS for life. Why not? Don't they upload Fortnite gameplay to those websites too? Call of Duty gameplay on Pornhub? I don't know. Levi with an 18 months. Hoping I could get a birthday shout out. Hope you've been well, JD. Take care. Levi, happy birthday. Everybody in the chat, leave some birthday cake emojis for Levi. Bucks After Dark. $4.99. Whoever booked the rain tonight was a genius. Maybe it was CGI'd, bro. John Lamey with 20 months. Best Raw easily in the last 10 years. I can't wait for WrestleMania. OTS for life. Thank you, John. Anthony Petrillo with a new membership. Anthony, thank you for becoming a member of the OTS VIP club, brother. What the fuck are you drinking, man? Drinks on me. Stephen Brewer, thank you, brother, for the $99.99 in Super Chat. Phil, 16 months. This Cody Rock segment absolutely needed to happen. How about that Punk Rollins McIntyre promo, though? Excitement. Excellent Raw tonight. Thank you, Phil. Yeah, I mean, they killed it tonight, man. They certainly killed it tonight. Harry's YouTube. Oh, man. We got the Harry's YouTube channel. $20 super chat. I knew Rock was going to come at the end because he whispered to Cody tonight, I will make you bleed. The Rock made this show amazing. Brooklyn better be better. You know, I don't know where people thought that The Rock said, tonight I'm going to make you bleed, man. You guys are crazy. I didn't really think that was what he said, but that's exactly what he said. He promised he was going to make him bleed. He made it happen. I don't know. Emerald Lord, 24 months. He finally got his gold microphone. Thank you, brother. OTS for life. 46 B Sellers with a 199. JD, did you get your tickets to Seattle yet? What the fuck is happening in Seattle? And why do I need to be there? Hush with a 199. If that's a preview of Netflix Raw, we in for a ride. Absolutely. I can't wait for next Netflix Raw. We won't have fucking bleeped out crowd chants. God, what a fucking... What a downer that is, huh? The biggest buzzkill while watching a wrestling show is having bleeped out fucking crowds. Lucky Geo with a 199. After Raw, do you want Cody to win again? W Stream. Cody's gonna win. Doesn't matter whether I want him to win. He's gonna win. He has to win. Ryan Buck with a 499. Rest in peace, Kevin Dunn. The camera shots, visuals, and the production now. Amazing, yeah. This is the new era, bro. I'm liking what's going on. Nathan Barnett with a 499. Why does this feel like a Rock Cody main event? Where's the swerve in all this? There may not be a swerve at all. I don't know why anybody thinks there needs to be a swerve. Seth is not turning on Cody. Rock is not turning on Roman. They may be stacking the deck against Cody and having him fulfill his Rocky-like story. Rocky Balboa, that is. Why do we need a turn? Post-WrestleMania, the bloodline staying together and causing WWE grief is the story. Samurai Sage with a new membership. Samurai, what the fuck are you drinking, Samurai? Thank you. M. James with a $5 super chat. People need to understand WWE is about more story than wrestling. The show was fire tonight. It's the reason why WWE these past 2 years has been real popular. Yeah. Story. Chris Lloyd with a new membership. Chris, thank you, brother. Robert Grimsley with a $5 super chat. Be honest. Do you ever find yourself laughing out loud to Jim Cornette? The man is fucking hilarious. Also, can you please say thank you, Trish, one time? No. Do I enjoy Brian Last and Jim Cornette? I do. I think what they do is great, and I think what they do is what others should really model themselves after, actually. You don't like it? Go kick rocks. Fun Shorts with a $4.99. WWE has been feeling much more liberated lately. Do you think this will be permanent or just temporary with The Rock being there? I think when The Rock goes away for a little bit, I think we'll see less of that. When he's on TV, I think we'll see it. With him there, I feel like he is a big influence on that. And when I think they move to Netflix, I think you'll see a lot more of that regularly. Right now, they have to work within the TV guidelines of NBCU and Fox. Echo Sandvik with a new membership. Thank you, brother. What the fuck are you drinking tonight? Demeter Bullion Doggy. Bark Woof Woof JD. CM Pinky Punky has very nice toes. You guys are fucking crazy, man. I don't know what the fuck that comment is in relation to, but you guys are crazy. Seriously. Matt Fugitive with 11 months. 11 months in the venue. OTS for life. Matt, thank you so much, brother. Appreciate you. Reggie Smith with 29 months. Minus the traffic, this was one of the best WWE shows I've ever been to from top to bottom. I literally felt like a kid all over again tonight, JT. Good on you, man. Tonight was a great show. Glad you got to experience it. And they really brought the heat tonight, man. Excellent show from top to bottom. Lorgasmic with a $5 super chat. Cody finally getting the adversity that was missing last year will make his victory on night 2 this year that much better. The wait will be worth it. Absolutely. I think so. Lisa with a $5 super chat. Sami losing was an ass decision 2 weeks before Mania. Loving the commitment Rock has to this story. Feels like it's Cody versus Rock at Mania. Yeah. It does. The only reason why it's not Rock versus Cody at night 1 on WrestleMania Saturday is because Rock, I don't think The Rock really wants to put himself in a situation where he's got to wrestle one-on-one yet. Clone Force with a $4.99. Heyman and Drew talking in the back during Miz and Truth segment backstage, and Bloodline will help Drew versus Seth. Yes, I did see that. I didn't really think much of it. But we'll see what happens. Metalhead for life with 27 months. You're the best in the world. OTS forever. Thank you, brother. Spider Hunter Nate, 20 months. Here's some advice. If your Cody crybabies won't stop crying, throw that Ken doll in a pool and it will shut up. Can Drew sing Funk is on a Roll tomorrow? No. No, Drew is not singing anything. And a $9.99 from the Milwaukee Braves. Hey, JD, big fan. OTS for life. Curious on your thoughts on the Ohtani situation. Apparently, the story is that Ohtani got scammed by his interpreter. If Ohtani had anything to do with it, man, get him out of the fucking league. That's what I have to say about it. Of course, they're going to pin the blame on the fucking interpreter. This guy's the biggest name in the entire sport. They don't want that hanging over his head. You know how much of a cash cow he is? Ridiculous. Already starting the season off with some fucking bullshit. Just play baseball. Thank you guys very much, man. Appreciate you joining me tonight. 4,500 in the venue. You guys killed it. Love it. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Join me tomorrow, man. We'll have some extra. We'll talk over some news and rumors coming out of Monday Night Raw, man. More Ronda Rousey comments. We'll get you prepped for Tuesday night, episode 41. Tuesday Night Titans. Myself and Andrew Baydala live tomorrow night, 8:30 Eastern, sharp. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. And go check out all the other content on the channel, man. Like I said, plenty of it to get caught up on before we have a great week right here on OTS. Hit that thumbs up. We need 50 for 1,500. Until tomorrow night, Tuesday Night Titans live, 8:30 p.m. We'll see you tomorrow night, guys. I'll talk to you later.